given the conversations around masculinity and the feminine society, usually happens where I think we were cornered in a position where we were being drowned with that narrative. And so then I said, Andrew Tate needs a representative in Kenya.
No, I am all about feminism
Yes.
because I was brought up in a time when it was very sexist, the environment. Women would or girls would just get married without even looking at their spouses.
In Kenya, there's, I guess, culturally as well, there was not, well, a few generations back, there was no dating. Like how we did dowry marriages. Everything was agreed. And the girl was sort of shepherded into the new home, and this is your new home, and this is what you will do, and you have to please your husband, and 100% this is the stance you take, and this is the rest of your life.
I think the entire world is now changing.
Hey, you, the viewer, I just want to take this time and I want to thank you. You've really helped me grow. You've really helped this podcast grow. But one thing I noticed is 77.8% of you don't subscribe. And if you love the content we're putting out, guys, we'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it'll take this channel to the next level. Subscribe. Mummy said that you wanted to come to Kenya and you want to sit on a podcast with Sajid.
Yes, just for fun reasons. Not any particular reason, but just for fun reasons. Because I'll be very honest, I haven't seen all your podcasts, but saw some of them, and I thought, why not?
Khala, they're very vile. They're very masculine.
Yes, so I'm just saying something that this is going to be more geared towards feminism. Okay, I don't want the sexist.
None of that stuff is here. This episode, we're for women.
So this episode is for women.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, given the conversations around masculinity and the feminine society, usually happens where I think we were cornered in a position where we were being drowned with that narrative. And so then I said, Andrew Tate needs a representative in Kenya.
No, I am all about feminism.
Yes.
Because, can I start?
Of course, you can.
Because I was brought up in a time when it was very sexist, the environment. And in Pakistan, right? You visited. And I think in every way that I could possibly do, I tried to do my role as a girl, as a young girl, as a woman. I tried in that society, because it's a very patriarchal society. It's all about men. It's changing now. I think the entire world is now changing.
But I think at your time it was very different.
Very different. It was the time where women would or girls would just get married without even looking at their spouses. It was a time.
I can't believe that would actually happen.
Yes. So it started changing at my time. And all of my friend circle was not that way. But it wasn't too far, like a generation, like maybe 5-10 years ago, it did happen.
Yeah.
Like I do have friends in New York who actually saw their spouses.
The first. Oh my.
Yes. So it's kind of crazy, but it's good to know that there's progression.
And when you look at it from that perspective, that is very true, because Kenya maybe now I will speak in English for majority of our audiences were Kenya. In Kenya, there's, I guess, culturally as well, there was not, a few generations back, there was no dating. Like how we did dowry marriages. Everything was agreed. And the girl was sort of shepherded into the new home, and this is your new home, and this is what you will do, and you have to please your husband, and 100% this is the stance you take, and this is the rest of your life.
Yes.
Within Pakistan as well, you mentioned some of your friends got married in that way, no? How was that experience for them and for you seeing it as well? Was it scary at a time where you couldn't really talk, you couldn't really express your opinions?
I was too young at that time. I remember we were just 19, 20,
Gee.
and we were in professional college. We were seeking a business degree, master's,
Yeah.
first bachelor's, then master's. And 2, 3 of those girls were from very conservative families. So they ended up getting married during those 4 years that, if I look back at them, I think they were like the most treacherous years I've been through. And I'm sure you remember because you guys used to come to Pakistan.
Yeah.
There was a big joke about I always had hourlies, exams, finals.
Yeah.
So those girls in those 4 years got married, and they didn't know their spouses very well. So I was very surprised that they were permitted to continue
Gee.
the 4 years of education. But at that time, I was too young to understand. And also, the upbringing of a girl is mostly centered around finding a good spouse, being obedient to him, taking
Yeah.
care of the family. It was those times where, but then as I also had a crowd that was in that time, you would call them rebellious.
Yeah.
I also had friends in that circle. Rebellious meaning not that rebellious, but they wanted to meet their spouses. They had a mind of
Yeah.
their own. And fortunately, I had their company and I saw the other side.
Gee.
And I thought the other side was better.
Yeah.
So, because they were my close
Friends, and you got that
Yes.
opinion.
And I got that opinion.
Yeah.
They still had the issues that women deal with, like some of them had brothers. And they would frequently say that, I don't know why my parents make such a big deal of me not going here, not going there. My brothers are out till 2, 3 a.m. So they had those questions, they had those issues, but they were not of that era where you just
Yeah.
got them married to anyone and they haven't seen them.
Yeah.
So I saw both sides, but now that I'm seeing, and it's really nice where the children are getting to know each other before the parents are
Yeah,
even
which I think is
involved.
very important.
Very, very
Very
important.
Yeah.
Because we all know that there are no perfect marriages. There are good and bad marriages. Okay.
So we're going to get to marriage, and I want your advice.
Yeah.
But just to give people context, my Khala, Khala means mum's sister. And she's come all the way from New York over here just to do this podcast.
And also to pull your leg.
And pull my leg. I want to go back to your early days because you were 5 sisters.
Yes.
What was your earliest memories with all the sisters, with all the Khalas?
So my earliest memories with all of them was a vibrant home, filled with laughter, filled with love, and quite a bit of insecurities too, because we grew up without a dad.
Khala, were you around? How old were you? Oh,
So how old was I
when Granddad, when
I was 3.5.
when he passed away.
Yes.
So you couldn't really remember anything. Could you?
I had a very faint memory of him putting me in a pool and getting me up. So my siblings told me later that he used to like taking them for swimming at Gymkhana. And he would, because I was a baby, he would place me on his shoulders and kind of give me a dip in the pool. And I kind of have flashes,
Gee.
but I was too young. So I don't remember, I don't have any memories with him. They're just like flashes.
He was, from what I've heard through obviously the third party, he was quite a successful man. Did quite a lot, right?
He was a legacy.
Yeah.
I do not think that people like him, even today in this world, are rare.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know him as a kid. And as I was growing up, all throughout, all of us siblings. Um, Kausar Khala was the luckiest, my eldest sister, because she spent the maximum time with him. She had vivid memories. She knew how he would talk, how he would, conduct himself. But the rest of us had to kind of navigate. And how were we navigating? We would meet up his friends. We would go to our mom. That was our primary source. Ask him.
Mamu is like uncle, right?
No, my mom, yeah,
mom,
yeah,
Ji,
yeah,
mom,
Nani
mom.
ma.
Yeah, Nani
So
ma,
we
yeah.
would ask her. Then his also a source was his siblings. All of his siblings were extremely close to him.
Yeah.
His brothers and his sisters. So that was the primary source.
I remember Papa telling me that he had come here possibly in the 60s or 70s.
Yes, 1972, if I'm not mistaken.
1972.
Or one. Maybe I don't have that right.
To help build business relationships between Kenya and
yes
and
Pakistan.
And Pakistan.
Yes, he was here for. He actually conducted. He actually had a dinner in, I think, Intercontinental at that time.
Yes, and I think there was a picture of my granddad and my grandmother and him. I'm going to have to go through the photo books to try and find that.
Yes.
Maybe we can put that up over here.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if Papa, if that's when my dad met Mom at that time. I'm not sure if she was there at that time. No, that was way after when you guys had come to.
No, there was no clue between both of them.
Actually, yeah, Dad was quite young at that time.
But who knows, what God's plans are.
And the one thing whenever I communicate with a lot of my friends and they ask me about Pakistan is Nanima, my grandmother, and Nanima is grandmother on mother's side, is the house where we had all the weddings, all the laughter. Growing up, dude, as kids, we were spoiled in Pakistan. And Khala here, she was the best because we would always go for late night snacks, ice cream, and you drive. What was that car you would drive?
And I would drive, and I was working, so I had that extra cash to spoil my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And we would be partying.
Are we going to party?
Are we having a party?
And because
Sajid, you were too cute as a kid.
Wasn't I naughty? Wasn't I like a terror? I felt I was spoiled, always wanting attention and chocolates, and if it's not enough.
So you were funny. That's what I would say. You were but obviously the funny part could be, to a certain extent, you had the streak of temper that had to be managed. Oh man, if Sajid is not happy, no one is happy.
My fondest memory.
I need to say this to Tamara.
Please, you have to tell her.
I have to tell her.
So my fondest memories was every time we would go to Pakistan is meeting you guys at home.
Mm-hmm.
And just the laughs. All your sisters would gather with Nanima laughing. And I want you guys to picture, it was a beautiful white house, like white tiles, and there were mahogany touches, and we had a backyard where there was like a stage at the back, remember?
Yes.
There was a stage, and all our cousins, actually Khala's even, got married over there.
Yeah,
Most of them. Your wedding was there.
My wedding was there.
Syra Khala's.
Yes. Also Annie's wedding.
Annie's as well.
That was the wedding that we all had so much fun.
And that was the family home, basically, which my granddad had built, and it stayed the test of time. I mean, can you imagine that? That having such a house where you can have your grandchildren even get married over there.
It's a legacy.
Yeah.
It's a legacy, and that house still holds those precious memories for us. Each nook and corner of that house.
And another thing we would do is, so all the cousins would prepare dances. And I remember, this is such an embarrassing thing. This is so
your
embarrassing.
dance that was impromptu and took all of us by surprise.
So there's a song, Kyuke Pan Bana Raswala. I'm not sure if you guys have eaten pan. Pan is like a leafy delicacy. It's an Indian delicacy.
Yeah.
We would have that. And there was a song, you guys made me dance to it. Now, I was wearing the Pakistani
Shalwar
kameez.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. So I saw them laughing. And I thought they were enjoying my dance. So I started even doing more, just shaking a lot more vigorously. And they kept laughing harder and harder and harder. And I was like, I'm a bloody legend in this place, man. Not realizing my pants are torn.
Because there was a time that he just did like a kind of a high jump
Yeah.
out of excitement. And at the rear end of that jump, the pop.
Tore. I mean, it was innocent, you know, in every single wedding.
But he was like, I mean, Sajid, that was Saira Khala's wedding.
It was Sarah Khala's, no?
And everybody was like, wow. And he just had this, he came back, he was obviously older because remember, we're all international, so we don't see each other. That was probably your last trip to Pakistan was 3-4 years before that.
Yes.
And everybody was looking at you and looking at this guy dancing away. He would just start moving anytime you would hear music.
I remember with all the cousins as well.
Yes.
I think Hinapi. I was in love with her. Masha, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I was constantly flirting with her. And I was like a kid, man. I was like 8, 9. I was throwing lines at her.
Sajid started pretty early.
Yes. We were walking on the beach and then she was like, there's a crab. I'm like, don't worry, you're too hot. It won't touch you. I was like, and thinking back on it, this is as an 8, 9, 10-year-old. And the thing is, it was a loving environment where there was no like, don't do that, don't do this. It was maybe from mom. Mom would run around with jump
your mom was, but otherwise it was like...
It was very calm. And that was very different from me seeing that such unity amongst the sisters. Yes. Do you think that came because you guys sort of grew up without a father and you had to mold yourselves together to be in that environment?
I think because when we were upset or we went through something difficult as young teens, we would just find rescue beneath each other's wings.
Yeah.
And Nani Ma, your grandmother, my mom, did a phenomenal job of raising us well, giving us good values, and making us feel that we are no less than any sons. And I think that's where I picked up the feminism I'm talking about, because in my home, I didn't have to hear that, oh, your brother can do this, you can't do this. She was never like that. And that came, because she, talking about Nani Ma Beta, you know that she has never even, I mean, she's in the definition of the word literacy, she's not literate.
Yeah.
But her mental wisdom and the way she led us all is, I have no words to describe that, because life gave her very, very tough cards to play with.
Yeah.
But the game that she played was brilliant, because she had her back, and whatever her struggles were, whatever the ups and downs in her life, she always managed to keep that smile and keep the environment.
That's so true. I never remember. I have no negative memories of her shouting and screaming. But maybe like as kids, but it was always a loving environment. She really made sure that everyone was extremely welcome. She'd sit in the kitchen. Remember, there was where we would eat in the kitchen, and then she would make the food herself. So
I have very fond memories, because some of my friends, the ones that I'm talking, who were a little bit different than the normal kind of girls, their mothers would be working, and whenever we would be going to their place, the cooks would be putting the food and laying everything. But when they would come to our house, my mom, I always remember her waiting for us to come back from school and making fresh roti at that time. And I mean, she had help, but she wanted to do it herself, which was so filled with love. I have such fond memories.
Yeah.
She made sure we wore the best clothes at any family event. She made sure that we had all the facilities. We read the Quran. We were educated properly. We didn't miss school. And she did all this on her own. I mean, I think her patience and her perseverance was greatly rewarded by
Yeah.
God.
I think the education is key because that being, and you did a degree and a master's as well, right? Or
Yes.
what did you study specifically?
I did my O levels from St. Joseph's.
G.
So this I have to attribute to Kausar Khala,
Okay.
making me do my O levels. Because at that time, she, after we lost our dad, she was the eldest and she kind of felt that she had to take a lot of responsibility for us. And she did all of that extremely well. Don't forget that she was only 16 at that time.
Wow.
She was only 16. So she, we did our Montessori award, and then we had like an entrance exam for a little bit accelerated program. So she made me take the exam for that. And she said, because she believed in me, she would, like kind of said that, no, I think she will be able to, to clear it. So she made me study for it. I have a slight bit of a memory, but not very clear, but I do remember the day of the exam.
Yeah.
And she was waiting outside, and we went home. And then after 2-3 days, we found out that I had cleared that paper. And she was so happy. And I was just 6, but I went into an accelerated program, which made me do my O levels. At that time, O levels was not very common.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think
No,
O
it
levels is just
wasn't.
something we're
Yeah.
doing recently. So O levels at that time.
So
yeah.
at that time, this was, I don't want to give away my age, but I will. About, yes, 1975, 76.
O levels,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
coming from a perspective where in our generation, I think we were the first, especially from dad's side, we were the first to get formal educations up to university and masters. Before that, Papa and them were just school and then business. And most of the cousins were school and then business.
Yes.
So at a time where in the Indian culture, very few people were pushing education to that tier,
Yes.
And then you obviously doing a
So I did
yeah.
my O levels, and when I did my O levels, I think the company that I was surrounded with, when we reached the 10th and the 11th grade, all my friends were thinking of a career. And I'm like, oh my God, oh shit, I didn't know this,
Yeah.
that I had to think of a career. And it was a little bit of peer pressure. And also my teachers, what I had, kind of forced me, oh, so what are you doing after O levels? And I'm like, okay. And at that time,
You hadn't
even
really
Pakistan,
thought about it, yeah.
no, I hadn't thought about it from before. But it was the crowd that I was in. They were all pursuing
careers.
So, you know how they say that you need to surround yourself
Yeah.
with people who are more professionally or better than you.
Yeah, you're the sum of the parts, yeah.
It kind of encourages you to bring out the best in you.
Correct.
So at that time, and I knew that, and so many of them were applying to universities abroad and
Wow,
going to A levels.
That time.
Yes. And I was like, there's no way my family is sending me abroad for studies.
Yeah.
So I was looking, okay, what are my options? And the options were either do medicine or do a business degree, because IBA was one of the institutions. Now, medicine was not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I hated physics and chemistry and bio with a passion.
That's why we're blood. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, did I say something?
No. That was the perfect thing to say. So medicine was not an option, clearly. It's not in the
an
books for us,
option.
yeah.
And the only other option was, I think there was an arts and crafts in Lahore. And Lahore was not an option because my family was super conservative.
How far is Lahore from Karachi?
It's about 1.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that time it's still...
Yeah, it's still, you cannot be. So the only option was IBA. And that too was in a part of the town. And I think the only person who had gone to the University of Karachi before me was Nana Bapa. Was our
Yes.
So no, so it was a big thing that she's going to go to a university, she's going to be in a co-ed program. It wasn't very acceptable
At
at
that
that time.
time, were they segregating, like when schools were for boys and girls?
Yes,
A university was co-ed then.
co-ed. Because we all of us sisters, we went to an all girls school. St. Joseph's
Yes.
was an all
St.
girls
Joseph.
school.
Mom even went there, yeah? St.
Yes, we
Joseph.
all went there.
Yeah.
We all
Who was
went.
that Malim that used to come home? Nahid, Jaldi, Jaldi aaya kar. She would always delay meeting the Malim to read the Quran. Who was that?
Because your mom
Yeah.
loved her afternoon naps.
Where do you think I get it from?
So, and she was like, come hell or high water, she would take that afternoon nap. And we have a very classic joke where it's hot in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
So the air conditioner, we had a window air conditioner. She would put the vents only on her. And Aju Khala used to share a room with her. And Aju Khala would be like here, because Nahid had to take her nap.
Yeah.
All the air being on her, the music playing in the background, but that nap was necessary.
Oh my God.
So that Maulvi coming at that time was
Just inconvenience.
just inconvenient for your mom. Interruption to Naidu. She loved her afternoon naps.
Naps, yeah.
And the moment she would always be late. And then when she would come, he would say, Nahid, Nahid, jaldi aaya kar.
Which means you should come faster, you know.
And
So
then that became a joke though. Aju Khala would always say it to your mom.
exactly. So now with the degree,
Yeah.
you decided to do international business. How was Nanima's reaction when you were telling her?
So interestingly, when I got the admission and I was about to start the program, your mom was getting married.
Really?
It was the first year. And I think Nanima didn't have time to process it. She knew I was doing something.
Yeah.
But I had to actually tell the elders of the family. And that's when Ibrahim uncle supported me. And he said that, fine, go ahead, pay the dues, start the program. So actually, the first event of the wedding was my first day at IBA. So your mother's wedding, we were so excited, so looking forward to it. But the first few days were kind of, of IBA and then the shadi.
Balancing the wedding. That must have been difficult.
And then coming to IBA was very, very, the environment was too academic, too strict. They were very anal about attendance, about grades. Anytime your GPA dropped at a certain point, you had to be out of the program.
Wow.
Every course had to have 6 absences. It doesn't matter if you are getting an A in the course. The moment you hit the 7th, you're out.
Yeah, they did that for us in
Yes.
So I used to, I went to the USIU, which is a local university over here.
Yes.
So I used to get someone to sign me in. Now, the problem is, my name is Sajid Vayani.
Yeah.
In a class full of African students who are called Tom, it's like, who's Sajid Vayani over here? These are all African students. So I got caught and I got kicked out of the course. I had to go and then appeal again.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, that's a slight side center. During the wedding, do you remember how Mom's reaction was when she first met Dad? Did they date? Did they manage to go on a date before?
So at that time, dating was after you casually see. At least they got to see each other and approve.
Yes.
So I don't think they were, and maybe met, but amongst family.
Did you guys make a trip to Kenya at one point?
That trip was way back. I think Mom and Aju Khala had come.
They had. I think it was during the coup, actually.
Yes.
In Kenya.
I think it was 1980, if I'm not mistaken.
Somewhere along those lines.
Yes.
We'll fact check. I think maybe 1978 was when the coup was. But I remember Dad saying they had gone to, so Wali uncle, which is my granddad's brother.
Yeah.
They'd gone to their house for a meal or something. I think Dad must have seen her over there.
Yeah.
And they briefly met. And then I'm not sure if that's when Dadu or Wali Dadu, my granddad or my granddad's brother gifted your father, my granddad from your side, a zebra.
That was
Is yeah,
1978. I mean, like, sorry, not
that was
1978.
before in.
That was when Nana Bapa came for the delegation.
Okay.
That was given personally by
Yeah.
your granddad to your granddad from mom's side. So that was in exchange. I think
Yeah.
they had gone for a hunt.
So it was like, yeah, they're going for a hunt, exactly.
Yes.
A proper zebra pelt. Remember I mentioned that granddad was in taxidermy and used to go hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting how that came to be.
That's interesting.
How I want to know how dad proposed actually to mom. Was it like a formal?
So at that time, it wasn't the way it used to happen, that the elders of the family would think that, yes, this is a good match.
Gee.
So they would suggest to them that, this is a nice boy. If they're telling mom, you should meet him. We think it's a very good match. And the same thing was told to Shoaib Bhai, your dad, that this is a nice girl. We, just go and see her. So dad came over to our house with the excuse, I have to say, of looking at, Nana Bapa has a good collection of paintings, right?
Right, yeah.
So he was brought. They came to the house to take a look. Oh, let's look at the paintings. But the actual, behind the scenes, all of them knew what's happening.
Seems dad also. Chal.
But now, this is not still active dating. They don't know much about each other. Okay.
So he saw her over there.
He saw her and he liked her and he said, yes, I like her. And that's how it happened. So for us at that time, the dating scene, little bit of the mild dating would begin after the families have met and kind of confirmed.
Okay.
So that's how it happened.
Interesting.
Yes. So, but they met and they met casually. They must have seen each other, obviously. And I don't know if they could ever speak or maybe they didn't talk because there were other people there.
I remember after the fact, Papa was mentioning that they would write letters to each other.
Yes.
But imagine, there's no WhatsApp, there's no Snapchat.
There's nothing. When I got married, email had just started.
Yes. MSN?
Yes. And I have, to this day, I hear Naeem Khalu telling me the amount I spent on the phone bills.
Because he was in New York, right?
Yes, he was in New York.
And we're going to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So Papa and them, the marriage is there. You're in university.
Yes.
Balancing, that must have been chaotic.
It was because IBA was another world. It was very intense. I was very overwhelmed. And then I was very close to your mom. And then it was just me and Saira Khala. Kausar Khala wasn't there.
Kausar Khala, when she got married, did she go to UK first?
Actually, I don't remember. Was Kausar Khala living in New York? No. She was living in Karachi. Sorry.
I think they were living in Karachi at some point.
Yes. So Kausar Khala is still there.
Yeah.
Aju Khala is there from Canada.
So Aju Khala didn't go to Canada. She was in Karachi at the time when she got married.
Yes, she came for the wedding, but she was living in Canada.
Yeah.
And your mom, because it was the three of us in the house, so her wedding meant, like, she literally got married and 2 days later she was gone.
Africa.
So that was a big void for me and Saira Khala.
What was your impression of Kenya at the time? Were you thinking George of the Jungle, lion swinging, like what's going on?
I actually, interestingly, came to Kenya in 2013. I've never been before.
Yes, this was for Wafa, my sister's wedding.
So we had the little bit of an exposure for the safari. We went to Nakuru. We did Nevasha. So Nakuru was the game rides and everything. So, and on our way to Nakuru, I remember getting so scared. Sajid, I don't know if you remember this.
There's a
but we
car
witnessed
accident.
an accident.
For me and Fazza, it would be like, okay, someone's hit on the side of the road and maybe passed away.
So we didn't witness, but we saw the aftermath.
Yeah.
And that kind of just
scared you.
Scared me. And I was like, God, I have my girls here. My husband is not here. I hope I can make it.
It's
It was just,
it's a different kind of culture shock, right?
yes. But I think the best experience we had on that trip was the private lion feeding. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
I think Shoaib Bhai had arranged it.
Yeah.
We had gone, and then I think the lion was probably hungry for 2-3 days, and then they fed the deer right in front of us, and it was
It's a spectacle. You know, when you see a lion
Yeah.
on TV and you see it in person, it's two different. It's two different beasts, quite literally. So, Khala, now, mom has gone to Kenya. You're in your degree.
Yes.
How was that experience like?
it was quite overwhelming for me because Saira Khala and I was 18.
Yeah.
Saira Khala was 16, still in school, college, and just to have her not there in the house, it was quite an adjustment. But then I think IBA got the better of me. I had to get involved otherwise they would have kicked me out, and they were very non-forgiving with that.
Okay.
Any kind of source or any kind of, it didn't matter whom you knew. The dean at that time of IBA was very, very rigid and strict.
Okay.
So did that, and started working in Pakistan.
Where did you work? What was your first job?
So my first job was at Muslim Commercial Bank.
Muslim Commercial Bank.
Yes.
Interesting. Do you remember what your first paycheck was? How much it was?
It was 8,630 rupees.
8,630 rupees. At that time, that must have been maybe 16,000 shillings because Pakistan was 1 rupee to 2 shillings.
So this is 1992 I'm talking about.
How was that enough money? Like, was that a good money at that time?
It was a great amount of money.
8,000. I mean, imagine, yeah.
Because Pakistan, at that time, things weren't so expensive.
Yeah.
And, they hired us at a good scale. At that time, MCB had a new president, and he wanted to uplift the face of that bank, and he started hiring a lot of. It's the first time, I think the first or the second year where they started hiring MBAs.
Okay.
So when they would train us, obviously. We had a training period. I remember going to the banks and learning, to a particular branch and learning all the operations, the different operations, the LCs, the retail banking, the cashier stuff. So all of these people, they would be very resentful towards us because they have been working for ages, and suddenly they have these 23-year-olds who are making more money than them. And like, it was clearly like resentment. For me, the Maiman language helped. So most of them were Maimans.
Maiman Commercial Bank,
Muslim Commercial Bank. So usually people
and
in
Maiman is
banks,
our community for guys
Yeah.
that don't know, yeah?
and I would just speak the language and they would warm up a little bit. And they would get a little
Aiko
better and
karta,
yes. So that really came to my rescue.
Okay.
But we met with quite a lot of resentment. Number one, we were women. Like if you're a woman, it was
you're
like a
earning more.
double-edged sword, right? And then you're making that amount of money.
Okay.
So that was my first job.
But the good thing is you got exposure through different verticals. They put you literally at the teller, here, back end. So you understand.
So you had to rotate through the entire branch.
How long were you at Maiman Commercial?
Muslim Commercial. So there was 6 months of training.
Yeah.
And then I worked there for 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
So by the time I left, I was an assistant vice president.
How much were you earning then?
Ready to tell you?
Let's talk now.
Yeah, it was about, I started at 9,000. When I left, I was making 75,000 a month.
And this was in
1994.
That's good, man. No wonder I used to get so many snacks. Every
Yeah,
time I'd go with
yeah.
Niman College, like, Saju kya chahiye? Toblerone, Reese's Pieces, this Cornetto, Galaxy, 2 choices: Skippy's peanut butter, all the stuff. Okay, so then
it would be like, like for me and Sarah Khala, you guys coming all over from all over the country was like a big treat. Like we wanted to do everything.
And you drive a stick shift, remember? It was
I can't drive it anymore.
Stick shift in Pakistan, man. Bro, sitting, it can get chaotic. You think Nairobi, Pakistan traffic, Karachi
is chaotic.
And she would drive there and take us like nonchalant, just let's go. We'd get chicken rolls.
Chicken rolls and the music blasting in the car.
Zainab Market. Oh, you used to take us everywhere.
I drove you guys everywhere. And I drove Nanima to so many places of Karachi where I cannot drive there anymore because I just can't navigate anymore there.
So 2 years you worked at the bank. What happened after that?
So after that, my grandfather found out that was, and my uncle, they both wanted me to work at the Usman Institute of Technology.
Which is our granddad had set that up.
Yes. So they brought me in as a finance manager there.
Really?
Yes. So I worked there for 1.5 years.
Okay.
Right before my marriage.
Okay.
That's where I met Naeem Khalu.
You met Naeem Khalu where? At the...
So he just came again casually because Hamida, Auntie, my popo was also working there. So he knew her. He came to meet with her and I was... Like both of us knew that we were seeing each other but didn't know.
But he's Pakistani originally, oh?
Yes.
But he was based in New York.
He did his pharmacy degree in Pakistan and then he went to New York and then he did his exams all over again.
Okay.
And he got his pharmacy license in New York.
By that time, he was fully based in New York.
Fully based in New York. Had a very steady job, was doing well. And he's just here on his yearly trips to meet his parents and then comes to meet Hamida Auntie. We all know that why he's here to meet her. He could have met her somewhere else.
He's saying Salaam Alaikum. He's looking, Hamida Auntie's here. He's like, Salaam Alaikum.
And we met and we spoke to each other also. So, and he was there with his brother. So I instantly liked him because the first thing that I saw in him that I felt he had no hang-ups. Like he wasn't your typical man with the typical values and he seemed like, somebody...
The fun-loving guy.
The fun-loving guy. And I don't know, it's a little bit strange. And I don't know if I should say this or not, but when you meet your life partner, there's a internal peace. And I think it's from the Almighty. You get a peaceful feeling in your heart.
I like that, yeah.
So I had that feeling that it's the first person whom I met, whom I felt, yes, this is the guy I can spend the rest of my life with.
You got that in a sukoon, huh?
Yes, I'm talking about that sukoon. Yeah, even though I didn't meet him I didn't know him for 6-7 months. I just met him once. Maybe on that same trip we met another time, and that was it. But I had this feeling, and I think, as I said earlier, there are no perfect marriages.
Okay. So
there are good and bad ones, and I think I had a very good marriage if I look back at it. Alhamdulillah.
So in between you guys meeting for the first time and getting married, how long was that period?
We met in March. We got engaged in May. By the way, for my engagement, he wasn't there. So technically, I'm engaged to my mother-in-law. But she put the ring on me.
Where was he? Was it work?
He was in New York because he had just left.
So he couldn't get leave.
So he couldn't because the marriage was in December. So he was coming back in December.
So he had to, okay.
Yeah.
So mother-in-law gave you the ring.
So my kids, the girls still make fun of me. But I said, I got engaged to your dadi ma.
Now, December is when we all came down for the wedding. I remember that.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And then you went straight. I think there was a couple of events after the main wedding. Then you went straight to New York, right?
Yes, I think the wedding was on 2nd of Jan, but he gave me a little time. Then again, he was very cooperative. I think by the time we left, uh, January 23rd or 24th,
How was had you been to New York before?
traveled, yes, we had come and just as a tourist.
So was it a culture shock when you landed there, living there?
Mm,
Was it a bit of an adjustment? Because
a little bit better for me because I had my siblings living abroad, visited them. It was more of a culture shock getting used to washing your own bathroom.
yeah, yeah, that's
So that was the adjustment. And coming from a home, a family where even though my cousins, my uncles, my aunts were not living in the same house, it was still a joint family because we took no decisions. We were always together. So leaving all that and coming here and making your own home just with this one person
yeah.
was an adjustment in its own.
And how was where did you stay? Like, because New York, well, inshallah, hopefully this year we'll be there. We have a reason to go.
Inshallah.
I've always been very curious about New York. It just seems this larger than life place that you see in the movies. Hey, I'm walking over here. You know, like, was it that for you? Was it just a mix of cultures?
It was a mix of culture because initially, when I came here, he was renting out an apartment in Queens.
Wow.
He was in a very nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so because he kept telling me that when you come, that's when he wanted to buy a house right away, but he kept telling me it's better when you come,
And
we
you
can
see
make
the
a
place
joint
together.
decision.
Yeah, exactly.
So not that I knew anything better. So at that time, we lived in Queens. We had a small 1-bedroom apartment. I tell you that the memories of that apartment, it really like resonates when we all know, like when you have less, you have more.
Oh, that's so true.
So it was a brilliant time that we spent in those first 6 months.
You cherish them a lot more because it's a closed space, so all the
Yes.
memories are
All the memories
more
are there.
compact and with you, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after some time, at that time, there was no internet, nothing. You would actually get the Newsday, I remember, was the paper, and I had to go through all the listings, which homes are for listings.
Nothing online.
So
yeah.
nothing online. And we would do that. And because he was always like working, he was busy. I wasn't doing anything at that time. So I had, and he kind of pushed me because he wanted me to get adjusted to this new life. So he kind of pushed me to do things, which I think, if I look back, I think it's amazing that he did that.
Yeah. To make you independent, retrospectively.
Yeah, and
looking at it.
he's actually made me, because remember I told you, came from a family. I already had the streak a little bit because I had the crowd that
Yeah.
I went to the school with, but then I actually had this spouse who was not holding me off from trying new things.
Was encouraging you instead.
He encouraged me, and he really did bring out the best in me.
How was the first time you went on a New York subway? Was that scary?
Yeah, I was holding on to him, and I kind of looked at this. There was a big black guy.
Yeah.
At that time, they used to have these headphones, and he was like, and I was just looking at him, and I remember Naeem doing, "Don't stare."
Don't stare.
So yeah, I mean,
Because-
those are the memories.
Yeah, that reminds me when I'd gone to UK for the first time as a kid. Papa had gone there for some shooting event, I think in Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So he had left us with some family friends and they took us into the tube. And I saw like two guys kissing.
Oh my God, yes.
I was staring. I was like, what is going on? And she literally pulled me and turned me around. I was like, this is not right. What is going on over here?
Oh my God.
So it was such a different culture shock for me.
It was.
What about the shopping experience with the supermarkets? Compared to, like, if you look, and I'm referencing my experience in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kenya mein khali ek variety milta hai chocolate. Like we only get one variety of chocolate, and here all of a sudden, the whole aisle is just dedicated for chocolates. And then
it's a different, referring to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
We never saw all of these things in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And coming back and, having the rainbow festivities. It's a culture shock for us.
I'm imagining mom.
Your mom would just be reading Astaghfar.
With the burqa, standing and watching the pride parade pass.
So, I have gay friends.
Yeah. It's the way the world
What
is.
are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's just, I cannot ostracize them because of the way they are. And I do have a special relationship with them. I do value them as people.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I don't think our generation will ever understand.
No.
Yeah.
And it's Kenya as well. I remember Obama came over here. And at the time, our former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, they were discussing live when they were giving sort of like an official speech at the White House, what we consider our White House, State House. And Obama mentioned to the former president, that you should consider making equal rights for gays and,
Yeah.
And then our president is like, we have people who are dying from hunger and all these problems. We don't have a house. We don't have basic things. Like, let us fix that first, then we'll consider these other
That's
problems.
it. You have heard about the Maslow's
hierarchy of needs,
right?
So being gay is at the top.
I think,
So Khala, now, when you went over there, did you start working at some point, or what was the lifestyle like? What was the adjustment for the first few years?
So first few years, Naeem I had my MBA from Pakistan. I was already working in Pakistan, but we weren't exactly spring chickens when we got married. We were older. So we wanted to start a family.
Yeah.
And we thought that pursuing my MBA would require me to be present there 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And probably I would have to work and commute to
so it's a
Manhattan.
whole day thing. Yeah.
And that is it's pretty demanding. That whole just routine of going to the city, coming back, and takes off, like the day is done. So we knew that I didn't want to go in that path. So he was the one to recommend that why don't you do CPA, the certified public accountant. Now remember, I didn't have a degree in Pakistan in accountancy, but I had a business degree, and that gave me exposure to a few fundamentals of accounting.
You did touch a bit of it, I guess.
We actually touched quite a bit of it. The first 3 or 4 semesters had each a course of accounting. So we went from fundamentals to financial to cost to managerial. So we had the exposure. And surprisingly, I was, in all of my school careers, I wasn't in the top tier of my class. I was right in the middle, somewhere in the middle, because I obviously had a life also. So,
exactly.
But somehow with accounting, I always did well. So it was a natural talent.
Okay.
And when he suggested that, I just said, oh my God, yes, my grades, I just naturally understood.
You could understand. It was
in IBA.
Very difficult for me, accounting, yeah.
So then we ended up contacting the State Department of Education in New York. There were no emails, no nothing.
Yes.
So we actually spoke to a live person, which is rare these days. She kind of became, like my mentor. So she was just a clerk herself, but she was working in New York State Department of Education in the CPA division. So she said, and she gave me a good hearing. She understood that what my education is. So she she asked me to send all of the degrees from
Oh, wow.
Pakistan, and they evaluated them. And then they came back to me saying that, oh, you would need these many credits to sit for the CPA exam. So then I started doing the credits. This is before the kids came on.
So this was now you would go to university to get you do a course to get the credits.
Yes,
college.
There was some courses that I did. There was an institution known as CLEP. So you would just have to go to the examination center and sit for the exam. If you passed, you got the credits. If you
Okay.
failed, you didn't. So I got about 10 credits like that. I just sat for the exam and I cleared them.
These are which subjects you were sitting for? Just
So
can be any
this
subjects?
This one subject was English communication, and it was 6 credits. So I just picked up like a prep book or something from a bookstore. I studied and I got 6 right away.
Awesome.
And the other one, I believe, I don't remember, but it was something about English literature. And for the rest of them, there was like US taxes, US audit. There was a course in business law. So Naeem told me, just go attend an actual class because these courses will be different for
these
you.
are very different,
You have no exposure.
Yeah, okay, yes, because I think whenever an accountant needs to adjust in a different field, tax and law specifically, they have to get acclimated with it and set a new brand new paper. Okay, makes sense.
So, and coming and speaking of discrimination, my first course that I attended, so you know how in the first day, I was obviously a little older than these guys were all 22, 21, the rest of the students. And I looked 28, 29, and you know, the professors like, we are all introducing where we came from, what are we doing here? And after I spoke and I kind of introduced myself, he looks at me and he says, I hope this course is not too painful for you. And I didn't say anything. I just kept quiet.
Yeah.
But at that course, I got the highest marks in the class.
Way too sure.
On the midterm. And he apologized to me publicly in front of the whole class.
Really?
Yes, he did. It was very, and also then he became my mentor because he told me that I'm really sorry that I said that to you, because he heard Pakistan, he heard an MBA, he doesn't know what IBA is. He thinks, you know, that she's from a third world country, she wouldn't know what she's doing. So Alhamdulillah, that happened. But I'm just talking about how you said how we all had our struggles, right? Settling in. So for me, it was very difficult when in front of a whole class, he just put me aside like that.
Wow. Yeah, that could be difficult.
Yes. So.
Okay, but I mean, but you overcame that and you showed it. So intellectually, we've established that Khala is smart, especially when it comes to accounting numbers. So should we ask her right now, how do we avoid paying taxes by siphoning money? Because I know a lot of our uncles have restaurants, cash businesses over here.
Yeah.
That are maybe the size of the bed. They do $3-4 million revenue a month.
The whole thing is, do they declare it?
You know, here in Kenya, if you have, because cash is king.
Cash is king.
And majority of the population is below the base economy zone, meaning they don't have bank accounts, they don't have access to cards and ETS. So most of the people is cash. So you can have a business like that. Okay, so you'll
be surprised there are businesses like that in New York too.
There are, yes, there are quite a lot.
There's quite a bit, and people don't want to show their true worth.
Yeah.
Because they want to get more and more, and they want to abuse it, right?
And I think a lot of people have abused the system, especially the healthcare side.
A lot of people in the US do that for various reasons. They have some, like, you know, their kids get subsidized college fee, health insurance. It's eventually...
They spoil it for everyone eventually.
They spoil it for everyone, and it's eventually what each person is comfortable with. If you can do that and still sleep well at night...
That's, between you and your God.
That's between you. But you know what you're doing.
Correct.
And things like that don't go too far. I mean, if eventually they do catch up.
It does.
It
Whether
does
it's
catch up.
and they say whether it's on this earth to
Mhm.
you, or if you pass on to your family. So
Yes.
something or the other always happens. So Fazal, you understand? Be a good boy.
Be a good boy and pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes. Bichara.
You're supposed to pay my taxes.
Yeah, Gwesh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Let's not discuss
Let's
all
not do
that.
taxes. Yeah, we're still a young podcast. So, Khala, once
Okay.
you get the CPA,
Yeah.
it's a certificate, right? It's a degree, or
It's
it's a specialized course.
yes. So you sit for the exam. There are four
Yeah.
parts. I don't know how it is right now, but at that time there were four parts. So
What's the difference between ACCA and CPA? It's the same thing, right? Or is it just?
ACCA? I'm not sure of.
I think that's what they do over here.
What does it
ACCA
stand
are all
for?
unemployed.
Well, maybe
What is
ACCA are all unemployed. Everyone I know did ACCA doesn't have a job.
Oh my god!
So CFA is
seriously?
chartered financial accountant, and then there's CPA, which is chartered public accountant.
Yes. So chartered financial accountant is, I think that's what
Yeah.
they call them in London.
Maybe you could
I
just
mean, in
just-
Europe.
Yeah, just ask ChatGPT what the difference is between ACCA and CPA. Maybe it's a jurisdictional thing. Maybe it's specific because we're a British colony, so maybe it's more specifically tied to the British hierarchy of studies versus CPA being more American.
So I think in British you would call it a chartered accountant.
A CA.
Yes, and that's what the American term
So
for that is
confusing.
CPA.
Let's just call it accountants. Faza, is there a good answer?
CPA is mainly US based. ACCA is UK and more globally based.
So it's the same thing. It's just the accreditation. I think it's different. And then CFA, I'm assuming, is more specific now when you're doing financial auditing and models and very specific to that.
You also need a degree to do CPA. Apparently, you have to have a bachelor's.
Yeah, that's why Khala she had to get credits because she already had a degree from Pakistan. Okay, so once you got the degree and you got the CPA status, did you start working immediately or?
No, I couldn't because the kiddos were still very young.
Oh,
So I remember clearing the exam just before Rahel's birth.
wow. Okay.
So
And
then,
how was it like raising kids there? Where I mean, nannies are super expensive. Everything you still have to do for yourself. Yeah, Salimu hai, Abbas hai. You know, we have Salimu, Abbas. Every you have all the help you need. You have cleaners. You have chokidars, askaris.
so it was utter chaos. It was madness. It was a lot of sleepless nights, sleepless days. But we were lucky that at some point or another, we were able to hire some help.
That's nice.
So that's how I was able to preserve my sanity.
How was Naeem Khalu through this?
At the end of the day, you have to realize he's a man, right? He was very, very hands-on, I
Yeah.
have to say. He would stay up nights sometimes with the kids. He didn't have a hang-up changing diapers. He was good, but he had to work.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it was primarily my responsibility. But we kind of had to preserve our sanity too, as I said. So we were able to hire some help and we got through those rough years like that.
How was lifestyle before and after having kids? Because
Different.
the way I'm looking at it now is, so I just turned 35 and up until that point I was single. Financially independent, could do what I want, enjoyed, everything was Sajid.
Sajid.
Now when you get married, beyond that now there's someone else that has come into the picture and it's like now, okay, it's us. Now when
us.
there's a kid that comes in, can I still be like Sajid, mujhe PlayStation khelna hai. Send her to Nani. Send the kids to Nani.
No.
It's not like
The
that.
good part for you, for both of you, you and Tamara, is that you have your parents here.
Yeah.
So it's good to take those small breaks because parenthood is not easy. And remember, this child that is given to you doesn't come with a refund policy, right? It's there to stay. So you have to make it work, whatever it takes. The child eventually will bring you closer as a couple, but not straight away. So initial years, initial months are tough. They will be more tough for your spouse because her body has gone through so much.
Yeah.
So she will need you to be there in every way.
Khala, did you ever go through something called postpartum depression?
I think it did happen to me after my second one, after Rahel. Because I came from the hospital and I had 2 babies in diapers. And I had to figure out, okay, this is size 0, this is size 3. And I just started crying because it was too much for me. But as I said, and I remember Naeem Khalu coming up to me, I just cried it out. But I snapped out of it. It lasted for a week, 10 days. I snapped out of it because I was younger. And then the support, the help. I'm not saying that those weeks or nights or those following years were easy, but
you found a way to manage.
They are bearable if you have a spouse who understands what your struggles are. So for us, because we lived on our own, it was just me and him.
Yeah.
It did sometimes put our relationship, to test. At many times, we had our arguments, we had our fights, whatever, because it's stressful managing.
It is.
So we went through all that as a couple.
And that's part of it. No?
That's part of it.
That's part of it. You can't have it without.
No, you can't have it without it. But the ultimate thing is that you, at the end of the day, realize that, okay, this is temporary, and you support each other at that time rather than playing the like the blame game.
That's actually good advice for Fiza. So I'm trying to get him a girl as well for him to settle down.
With my luck recently, I'm fine being single for a few more years. Okay. Let me focus on work. Let's leave that shit. Huh?
So Khala, is there anything, if you look at retrospectively, you wish you had done differently when you got married with Naeem Khalu and when you had the kids? Or were you just happy for all the steps you took that led you there? Is there anything you would change?
Interesting question. I think I would be a little bit more assertive. I think I gave in very easily. So I don't think my family would agree with that, though, because they already think I'm the rebel. Okay? And Naeem Khalu would definitely not agree. Also, I wish I was a little bit more confident. So,
and confidence when it comes to making decisions, or confidence in trying new things?
In trying new things.
Anything in particular that comes to your mind when it comes to that?
There was a time where I wanted to learn how to ice skate. But I didn't do it because I didn't have the time. I wish I took out more time
to
for
do
myself.
Things that you'd enjoy.
So to do things that I would enjoy and to work on a hobby. It just became, this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done. And when you come to an age, then you're older and you don't have the same, physical capabilities. I can't afford to break a bone at this age.
Yeah.
I could have done it when I was in my 20s and 30s. So yeah, I just wish I was a little bit more bold.
It's not too late to go ice skating. Maybe when I'm
Sajid,
in New York
no.
later in the year, we go together.
Maybe we can do that. But
Yeah.
Kinza Rahel heba know it.
They know ice skating well?
So I took them to classes and that's how, why didn't I learn all this,
Gee.
And I wanted to do it at that time, but, too many commitments, too many responsibilities.
I don't blame you because you're the lifestyle that I see you guys live as well.
Yes.
You're very independent. You do a lot of things on your own. You take a lot of load on your shoulders. So sometimes you get lost in pursuing the stresses of just living day to day to actually enjoy the life. So I don't blame you for that. That's the rat race that is life, but it's never too late. So if you want to do ice skating, we'll do it together. Both of us fall.
Okay, let's see. But I think my back now, I don't think
Yeah,
I
my
can
back
afford a
as well.
fall.
So Khala, now, okay, you've had Rahel.
Yes.
Kinza came first. You had Rahel. Did you start working then after that or before?
No, then I had Heba. I started working after Rahel, and 2 months into my job, I found out a third one is on the way. And
where were you working at that time?
I was working because remember, the exam wasn't enough. I got my degree,
Yeah, but you need experience.
but I had to work for 2 years. And that's when I called up New York State and I said, look, is the exam valid? Does it have an expiration date?
Yeah.
Because I have kids. I cannot work.
Yeah.
So they said, no, it's good for lifetime. So that was
That's
a big
good.
relief.
These days, I think they do.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of exams. So when I was applying for Canadian citizenship, the English test is only valid for 6 months or something ridiculous.
TOEFL or
the
something.
TOEFL or something.
Yes.
It's a finite amount of time. I'm like, but it doesn't change my English capabilities. Okay, so that was good. So now when they told you that you have
You
ample
have the time.
yeah.
I wanted to be with my girls. I wanted to, I didn't want them to be raised in a daycare center or by, I did have help, remember I told you, but I wanted to be involved with my children.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that as a person, you think that you did something's right, something's wrong. So that's one thing. If I look back at my life, I felt I did the right thing.
That's true.
I spent a lot of time with my girls.
I think that's why they are who they are. Like when I look at the girls, honestly, they have grown up in a modern society, but at the core, they're beautiful, confident, loving young girls that have the ethos of what our community and family is there for, which is love, affection, and just being there for each other. And you don't get that these days. And that's why he the churels he's dating. So seeing that, it's such a breath of fresh air. And I think the fundamental reason is how you brought them up, by being present, by genuinely being there and curating the experience. And you guys did a fantastic job.
So
Your name,
also
Khala.
Naeem Khalu was a very involved dad. And, coming from like growing up without a father, when I saw my girls with their dad, it brought me immense joy.
Yeah.
It filled my heart with so much gratitude and I saw that how a dad's involvement can really, your dad says something, this is good. That's enough for a girl. He ratifies something, it's fine with you. The mother can go on saying the mother is there, she nurtures them, she loves them, but the father is the one who gives them the confidence. So that's when when I said we grew up with a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
We didn't have that gratification. We didn't have that male figure in our lives, as siblings.
So you could see the difference between.
So I saw it, with my girls. I saw that they were growing up to be young, confident girls. They could. I remember we having an event. I think it was Rahel's Amin, and I remember Kinza taking the mic and speaking and narrating. Like reciting a few verses from the Quran. And I was like thinking to myself, I said, wow, I don't think I ever had that confidence. So it really makes a huge difference for a girl, for the dad to be involved and for the dad to, give her that security that, yes, whatever you're doing is right. That's all she needs to hear. That's all she needs.
And you felt that was maybe missing then from what you had.
Yes.
growing up,
So I would be so grateful that my children had that. And I mean, you work with whatever's God given. You're like, nobody gets to pick the cards, right? So you make the best of it.
I think that also the absence of a father, I think, has genuinely made you sisters much closer as well.
Yes, it did, because we had to find rescue in each other.
Yeah. You have to find solace and peace. And
Yes.
no, I agree with that. Okay. So Naeem Khalwa as well, I will say I've always seen him as this guy who's got life and energy about him. You know, he's a
funny guy.
He's a funny guy, yeah? He seems like he...
No, he has a funny bone in him. Yes, he does.
He does, yeah?
He does,
Yeah, I've seen him.
He sees the lighter aspect of everything. So
Which is
that's
so
when he
important.
calms me down, because I sometimes lose sight, get stressed out, typical, you know.
And he keeps you on the straight and narrow.
And then he kind of like calms me down. But I have to say, as I'm getting older, I think it's going the other way around.
So the kids, who's got mom's or dad's comedy? I think maybe Rahel has.
Rahel has that spark in her.
Yeah.
And she definitely gets it from him. She has that
She's
that
got the
musty
wit,
angle.
Yeah. Oh man, like I remember seeing them after so many years. I think because 2013 was the last time we met in perhaps Canada. Because Karachi I haven't been since maybe 2011.
2011, you haven't been?
Yeah, so I saw them in 2013. Then the last time I saw them was in Canada in 2019.
Yes, we were kind of going over
and
when they saw you last.
And we spent time, Tim Horton, Timmy's.
Yes.
Driving the girls around, just spending time with them. And I was like, I hadn't seen them in so long. And I realized now I have like so many sisters from Sarah Colors, Zaina, Amani, just all of them. And you never get that experience. And it's very unique representation of who we are, is that we may not meet often, but when we do, it's as though no time has passed.
Yes.
Right? And
that is a true blessing.
It's such a blessing to have. And even now, when you guys came to Kenya, we just picked it right up.
Yes. So that's the beauty of these relationships.
Alhamdulillah. So Khala, now you've had the kids. I saw somewhere I'm not sure if someone shared this with me, whether it was Mummy, but you had started a business of your own. This is much recent, right?
Yes, I've started working for myself
but
in 2011.
2011, okay. So
not 2011, sorry, 2012.
Okay. And what were you doing specifically?
So I got my license in 2011.
Yeah.
I completed the internship portion, and then I kept working for the accountant.
So internship, you had to get 2 years experience.
Yes, but I got them broken. Like I couldn't work for all 2 years. Okay. So I worked for 4 instead, because I would go part-time.
Wow.
Because the girls would be home at 3. I couldn't. And this person who helped me get my degree, he was a Pakistani guy too. So he understood the struggles. He kind of worked with me.
Okay.
I worked with him till 2012. In 2012, I started, I incorporated my own business. And then he called me back in 2017. So, or 18, sorry. 18, 19, 20. I was working with him and still having my own business on the side. Okay. And after 2020, I've just been completely independent.
And so what do you do specifically for people?
So I help them file their taxes. So I do, and I have businesses too. I do their payroll filings.
Okay, you manage the books basically.
Yes, I do their bookkeeping. I do their sales tax. So in the US, we have to file payrolls, like for employees who work for yourself. And even if you are a business owner, you want to pay yourself.
So, so employee taxes, how much? Is 30% of your gross pay?
So there is a fixed portion of 15. If I'm an employer, there is something that even if I earn $1, I have to give 0.153 to the government.
Okay.
So it's 15.3%.
Cent.
So 15 cents of my earning, my $1, goes to the government, which I'm not seeing. It's going towards Social Security and Medicare.
So that's defined as income tax or corporate tax or
That's payroll tax.
payroll tax. Okay.
That's payroll tax.
So if I earn $100, 0.153 of that basically goes
Yeah.
to the government
Which the government promises to give back to you
through.
when you are of a certain age and eligible
Okay.
to receive Social Security and Medicare. So Medicare is our health insurance.
Okay.
And Social Security benefits, in case if you are handicapped or can't work, disability, or if you reach the certain age, it's 64, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Some people take early retirement
Okay.
at 62. The government will give you, it's like an annuity being paid back to you.
Sure.
So that goes there.
Okay.
That's you're not seeing that.
I've always been curious about what a 401k is. What's that?
So a 401k is an employer-sponsored retirement plan. So, for example, Naeem, he works for a pharmaceutical company. His employer gives him has a 401k plan in place for their employees. So the employees can contribute a certain percentage of their pay into that, and the employer will match.
Will match that. So it's like a pension?
Like, it's not a pension, because a pension is only, in a pension, only the employer contributes. The employee, it's the best of the best, the pension. But US economy is now getting, most of the businesses, there are very few companies who offer pension plans, because a pension plan is fully funded by the employer. And it is amazing because it's of no cost to the employee, and the employer promises to have this annuity. It's invested in the market. It will go on growing and it will be paid to you. It's the best of the best. So very few companies offer those now. Most of them are 401ks. They want the employee to contribute, and they will match. Usually it's up to 5%.
I think, so I think we're doing maybe 2 to 3%, and then the employer matches that contribution as well.
So as an accountant, my job is to tell my clients, contribute to your 401k.
Okay.
Do not, number one, it's the forced saving. Number two, if your employer is contributing, why are you missing out on those free funds?
That's true.
The only drawback with the 401k is that it's just the way they are set up. You only have 2 or 3 funds that you can choose from. So if a fund is not doing well, then you might, that's something that's how the 401k is. And that's how it goes. So when you contribute to your 401k, you also save on your taxes.
Okay, you do?
You do. Because we have we call it a W-2 form. It's like your wage and tax statement for the year. And you know that US is January to December calendar year. And when you contribute, your that portion that you put away in a 401k does not get taxed. You still pay Social Security and Medicare, but you save on federal, state, and local, if there is local.
Okay, so when you say federal, state, and local, if you're in New York versus being in Texas or Sugarland, Texas, or wherever you different tax
bracket, because the state in Texas, they won't be paying state taxes. There are no state taxes.
That's why all these large companies are moving.
Yes,
I think Elon Musk is establishing presence over there. A lot of rich, wealthy people have relocated from California to Texas because of the tax laws.
So New York and California are the 2 tough states as far as taxes
Has it
goes.
hit you guys? Like, do you see with a lot of people that you work with?
So also these 2 states are very expensive. I've seen quite a few people move to Texas now, or to other states that are less expensive.
Okay.
Because also in New York, a big big thing is property taxes. Not so much in the 5 boroughs of New York, which is Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Manhattan, Bronx. These are these taxes are not so high. But guess what? They catch you in another way. Where if you are living in these boroughs and if you're earning money, they will take city taxes from you.
What is the city tax?
So city taxes, if you live in any of the 5 boroughs, that's between 3 and 4% of your earnings.
Your annual earnings?
Annual earnings.
Jesus, that's
So it gets cut from each and every paycheck that you get. So you pay federal. So think of it like this. You first pay the payroll taxes. You pay the Social Security, the Medicare. That money you don't see till you retire. Then you're paying federal. Then you're paying state. Then you're paying city. So by the time you see that paycheck, it doesn't look too good.
As a percentage, let's say hypothetically,
Yeah.
it's $100 income. What percentage does that all come to?
So this is a pretty tough question to answer. It depends because US tax law is progressive.
So
the more money you make,
earn,
the more. So the lower tier is 10%, and it could go as high as 37%.
Okay, let's say if you're making upwards of $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
What's the tax bracket?
So 300,000, you are in between 30 to 32. Don't quote me exactly, but there are other things that come into play too.
So if you're earning $1 million plus, then it goes upwards to 40 to 50. Is that?
I think the top tier is 37. Could go
It's still
with the
quite a
state.
lot, yeah?
You still haven't added the state, so
Oh,
don't.
wow.
So state at least for New York, it's 8 to 9%.
Might as well put all our money in Dubai if things clear
Tax
up.
haven.
Yeah,
That's a
I've
tax
seen a lot
haven.
of people open up companies
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're into politics and this new guy Mamdani. Did you vote, Khala? Did you vote?
I am not a New York City resident. I live in Long Island.
Okay.
So technically, I wasn't allowed to vote for him because my driver's license.
You have to be based in New York.
Yes, you have to be based. But we were extremely happy. It was absolutely amazing for him.
Is there a lot of positivity that you're seeing about him, or is it mixed?
It's mixed. He is trying to do a lot of good things. Like for the summer, he's trying to engage, the students. They have like a hotline where they can get in touch and find jobs and work for the city, earn wages. He is working towards improving the subway facilities, which in some parts of New York City are very bad.
Very bad, in terms of.
I mean, the
dirty?
amenities, and they're dirty,
Yeah.
and not enough like restroom facilities. He's working on that.
Yeah.
He's working towards having more parks. So he's doing his job. Also, with the recent, there are a lot of like homeless people in
that
New
have come
York.
up, yeah.
The government has to. They have recently made some public properties into shelters.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of.
And I think post-COVID is when I saw a lot of perception about New York change, because a lot of people were hit, right? And the city became quite expensive after that. Because New York was always it's the center of the world, right? But then you see the beauty below the clouds, and now that was all glitz and glams and the movies that have perpetuated New York to be what it is. Post-COVID, I'm seeing it very different. It is homeless guys on the side.
Yeah.
But then again,
But New York is
it's
still New
It's
York.
New York. New York is still New York.
It's still, like the hub.
Khala, when I come to New York, this halal thing.
Don't worry.
I have to have a New York City hot dog. We can say Bismillah. I need that.
Just make sure your mom doesn't know.
No, she won't know. No, so
But
the
yeah,
food
street
culture is
food-
amazing.
The food culture is amazing. I've mostly been like in Long Island. Even when I was living in Queens, my lifestyle didn't allow me to really explore New
New
York
York.
City. We would go into the city, but it was always with kids, with family. I didn't explore on my own.
Yeah.
But my girls are all about New York City. They love it. They enjoy the diversity. It's magnetic,
Right. It is.
and it has like a special vibe to it.
So you're in Staten Island.
I am not in
Sorry,
Staten Island.
no, sorry, Staten
I'm
Island
in
is
Long
with
Island.
Long
Yeah,
Island.
Staten Island is
It's
part of New York.
Yeah. Long Island. Who do you know? Colin Moriarty from IGN.
No.
Okay, he's the Long Island vibe. Anyway, he's based over there. So Long Island, I'm assuming it's less concrete jungle. It's more open spaces.
It's like a suburban area.
Okay.
So bigger homes.
Is that way? Like Queens is next to it, or when you because you guys were in Queens for a while, right?
So yeah, I was in Queens. We moved in 2015. So I would say it's like 5-6 miles from Queens, not too far at all. But it depends, like which city of Long Island. Long Island could stretch
Massive.
all the way. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are about. I would say that if there's no traffic from my house that I was living before and to where I am now, it would take about 10 minutes.
Okay.
But in traffic, it could take 35 minutes. You know, New York City traffic is brutal.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Khala, now advice for young couples that have just got married. What would you say? Obviously, you're an expert now.
So here's what I think. This is for people in general, but especially for the young crowd, because you guys have more years on your side. And I always say this to Kinza, Rahel, and Heba too, that aim high, but make sure your feet are on the ground. So you have to remain humble. But that doesn't mean that you don't have your dreams, you don't have your aspirations. Aim very high, but just be humble. Don't be arrogant, because I don't know how people look at it, but for most people, I think arrogance is not appreciated.
Yeah.
And also one thing that really applies to the younger generation, especially these days where we're living in more of a virtual world. Take a little bit time from this virtual world that we all are getting sucked into, with WhatsApp and all the other Instagram and everything, to be engaged in reality. Look around you, make eye contact with people, check on your parents, check on your spouse when she's talking to you or he's talking to you. Do not keep your phone away. Do not have your eyes
Faza? On phone? Huh?
on the phone always. And
just be present. Be present
in the moment, because I cannot live a moment without my phone. But I know when I have to put it away, because there's so much that we do on our phones. We work. It's like a mini laptop. Like, we're doing everything. We're keeping in touch with friends. And we all need it. But we all have to understand that it has its limitations. We have to look up and look at the world around us.
Yeah.
And look at the people who are there. And
that's true. I love that. It's just being more present, because I'm always on my phone, but I've got a love-hate relationship with my phone, because my personal line now has my day job, my personal side, my podcast, all in one. I need to separate it, because it just gets very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Getting flooded with messages, and also making time and being present. I think he's told me sometimes he's talking to me and I'm just on the phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you say?
Yeah, I do that too. I'm also guilty of that. We all do that. But, when they say that when you recognize a problem, you're halfway towards solving it.
I like that.
So
do I have a problem, Faza?
You remember you pay me a salary, right?
So he's being nice.
Yes.
Khala, as we wind things down.
And one thing
Sure.
more that I want to say to the young people and what I would have done differently. You asked me a question before, right? What would I have done differently? Be financially savvy. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, not just letting your money stay and not just spending it all on your needs and your wants. Those are important too, but make sure a portion of your money is saved. And by saving, I mean, please, 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 this is to all young people watching this podcast. Um, please invest that money into the market.
So like the money market funds, like is there, because
I don't know much about, but I know about the New York Stock Exchange.
Yes.
And I don't recommend the young people taking huge risks with the stock market.
Bitcoin.
And no, I'm sorry, but I don't recommend that at all. Because all of those things bear a lot of risk.
Yeah.
There's high return, but there's high risk. I'm talking about choosing like a normal indexed funds that have these fund managers who are monitoring the things behind the scenes.
He wants to say something because he knows how much money I put in Bitcoin.
XRP to 100.
Let's not talk. Let's talk next year. But so there's actually, for those interested in investing in these kind of markets, especially in the US, I believe Standard Chartered actually has an app where you can invest directly in these money market funds tied to the US, and they give you it's again managed by a group of people, and your money works for you rather than just keeping it in a fixed deposit.
And you also want to see the effects of compounding. They're huge.
Yeah.
So I know that stock markets are very sensitive to current events, to political situations, and you see the up and down. But being in an indexed fund you're protected. And sometimes some companies do well, they're doing very well, and suddenly something happens and they don't do well. So that's why I'm not a big fan of individual stocks.
So
I like these index funds. Their cost to expense, their ratios are very low. You leave the money there, it grows. Also, to look into, just make good use of that money. Invest in real estate. Do these investments because these small things in the long run,
they pay off.
And eventually you want to make your money work hard for you, not the other way around.
Correct.
So I didn't do that. Nobody guided me. I didn't know any better, but I try to tell my young clients, my young children, my nieces and nephews, that please do not make that mistake.
No, I agree. I think it's something you have to actively put effort into.
Yes.
I think of late, just seeing the global crisis the way it goes, there's always something or the other happening. And what I realized is, as individuals, we should invest in the resources. And the resources, like the people who control the resources, are the ones that benefit through chaos. And what resources are we talking about? So energy, that's power. Water is going to become a very critical market. Fuel. If you look at what is happening now in the Middle East, we're feeling the after effects.
Yes.
I think by the time those shippers the ship tanks get to the States side, in May, June, now you'll see the price go up in 100, 200, 300%. So resources in particular, anything that fuels the global economy, look at it. What powers the industries today? And invest in those resources. I think that's very important for us. And just diversify your portfolio. Because something will cause water shortage. Something will cause power shortage. Something will have data centers.
I think you're right with that,
Resources, there are very few people that control them. So if you are part of that, you can actually survive the wave at least. Khala, as we wind things down now, what's the future look like for you? Like what do you want to achieve? You and Naeem, Khala, do you have any travel bucket lists? Have you been to Japan?
No, I really need to go. I really need to travel more.
Yeah.
I also need to take care of my health more. I need to go to the gym more often. Those are the things I want to do for myself now. I also want to keep putting more effort into growing my business. It's growing. It's slow, but it's still there's a lot to do. But I'm not going to go crazy with the growth.
What's the name of the business, Khala?
It's called 1040 times tax services.
There's the link you have.
Yeah, I have a website.
So we'll put everything in the description.
Yes.
Maybe there's someone in New York watching this who needs help. Maybe they invested in Bitcoin and now they're screwed like me. But
Yeah. I cannot do anything about that.
maybe the good luck charm. Maybe Khala's always been the good luck charm. After we meet, things go positive.
Yeah, so we always have to remain positive. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are my lifelong goals, and obviously to be able to see all of you flourish, my children. I always include my children last. I say my nieces and nephews first, and then my own kids.
I think one thing I'll have to admit is I've been very recluse when it comes to family, but I have to make more of an active effort in terms of spending and meeting time, because I've got family all over the world, and I love the fact that we gather for weddings, but it's especially where we are, it's not enough. We need a lot more.
Yes.
I've got a US visa now, so
that's what you got to do. You have to make more visits.
So Fiza, can you plan, and when you go to mosque next Friday, ask for duas for Bitcoin to go back up? So then I get a private jet for the family, and then I tell Khala, chalo Japan, put all the kids inside. That's where we want to get to.
Yes.
Can I first pray for my own passport?
Bichara. But Khala, thank you so much.
It was lovely.
Love you for doing this, man. Thank you so much. And
it was really nice. It just kind of flowed.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Khala. We'll wind things down now. Guys, thank you. If you enjoyed this, do hit the subscribe button. We'll catch you in the next episode of Coffee Bomb.